Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and it's time to swim for your life with the release of Crawl, a new horror that puts some of the world's most dangerous animals directly in your home. Throughout this video I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know about Crawl, its ending, as well as the extra scene that was cut from the movie. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't seen the film yet and don't want to know what happens, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. With that out the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking the video. Now let's get into my breakdown of Crawl. Crawl follows Haley Keller, who, after receiving a call from her sister about a Category 5 hurricane heading towards her father's home, goes directly into the storm on a rescue mission. Haley's father Dave has been living there since his divorce with Haley's mother, which she carries a lot of guilt over. This is because Haley is trying to become a professional swimmer, which hopefully comes in handy, eh? And her father, who coached her, pretty much sacrificed his marriage so that she could succeed. When Haley arrives at the house, she descends into the crawl space under it, which is where she finds her father and something else along with him. Giant ravenous alligators which have managed to infiltrate the house and give a whole new meaning to the reason you should never smile at a crocodile. Oh, that joke doesn't even work, I'm sorry. Anyway, due to the gator's size, they manage to hide between the pipes underlying the house. However, as the hurricane intensifies, the basement floods and the two have to navigate their way out of there, all while surviving the jaws of death. It's a really unique and interesting premise that I definitely found myself going with early on, and there's one thing that this movie is from the off, which is tense. It doesn't really let up, and you always feel like there's a ticking clock to everything, whether it comes from the approaching storm, the flooding, or the alligators who want nothing more than a hot meal. From the beginning, this is a clear metaphor for global warming and how, whilst we are happy to play ignorant when it comes to the welfare of the planet, the danger that Mother Nature brings will eventually come into our homes and in one way or another uproot us from it. It really feels like a modern horror premise, however it still packs all of the underlying motifs from classic monster movies such as Jaws and the like, which really elevate this above most. There's a real sense of claustrophobia to Crawl that massively makes every interaction with the creatures feel ever more dangerous. There's no ocean to swim about in here, just cramped ceilings and walls, and it makes the piece have an underlying tension throughout. After several failed escape attempts and one which shows why it's bad to go looting, Haley makes her way to the storm drain and discovers that the alligators have made their nest there. She manages to kill one using a gun that was picked off a police officer and makes it to the upstairs part of the house, which allows her to free her father. They're not home safe yet though, and the house itself begins to flood as the eye of the hurricane sets its sights on them. Joined by Sugar, their trusty dog, the trio manage to make their way through the house, and Haley is able to send out a distress signal. Unfortunately, the alligators are hot on their tail, but Haley manages to make it to the roof after trapping one in the shower, burning one with a flare, and swimming outside the house to bring her father up there. Haley flags down a chopper, and in the end her father watches on proudly, knowing that all the amazing coaching that ruined his marriage, his life, and his relationship with his children has meant that Haley is the fastest swimmer in the ocean. The film abruptly cuts to black, and we don't really get any closure, though it is heavily implied that the two made it out alive. In an interview with Cinema Blend, Kaya Scaldelario, I hope I pronounced that right, who played Haley, said that this was done intentionally, and whilst there was originally a cut to Dave and Haley safe in the hospital, this was done for the following reasons. I always thought that quick cut was quite clever because I kept expecting the cut to Haley and Dave in the hospital bed. I really like that you're just on this journey and that's all you get to see, and that you're here for this experience and this thrill ride, and it doesn't let up. It doesn't stop until the credits roll. There's something quite exciting about it. After I saw it, I kind of needed 20 minutes to calm down after it because I felt exhausted, and I think that's the pace that Alex wanted to keep. Personally, I do agree with this, and whilst initially when watching it I felt like it was quite abrupt, it makes sense in retrospect as it doesn't really allow the pace of the movie to let up. This also ties into the cutscene from the film, which gave a more in-depth backstory to Dave and his wife's divorce. Dave was in the process of selling the house in order to carry out his end of the divorce, however he backs out of the sale because it means so much to him. This kind of gives more motive as why he decided to stay there during the hurricane, and it also fills in the breakdown of his marriage. I do however think though that due to potential pacing issues that removing it was the right decision, and it allows the film to not really let up from its opening to the end. Overall, I do think cutting it actually makes the movie better, and it was the correct decision to make, as we don't really need this section added in order to help with the plot development. But what did I think of the movie overall? Well, Crawl surprised me in more ways than one. This is a really engaging horror that feels like a roller coaster ride from beginning to end. I've never been to Florida, but I can imagine that this will really resonate with locals there, as the tension and scenario is unique and feels like an intense situation throughout. There are some minor criticisms I have around the film, such as the realism of the animals and some of the CGI effects. However, nothing really took me out of it, and it feels like a home run for what it does. Overall, this is a really enjoyable horror that you should definitely check out this weekend, and that's why it gets an 8 out of 10. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Crawl and if you enjoyed the movie as much as I did. Comment below and let me know, and if you like this video then please give it a thumbs up and make sure you check out my full breakdown of the alternate ending of Spider-Man Far From Home, which will be linked at the end. We go over in full detail the cutscenes of the movie, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. I also just want to let you know that we're giving away a free copy of Avengers Endgame on Blu-ray to one lucky winner, and all you have to do is like this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on Crawl in the comment section below. The winner will be chosen at random on August the 10th, and the Blu-ray will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are mad into movies, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.